Hi guys, I'm here with another video. This one is actually just going to be a series of questions. As you may already know, I am reading Biblioholism. It's The Literary Addiction. It's by Tom Robb, I believe is how you pronounce his name. A review of this will be coming up shortly. This I seen on Bumblebee, one of Bumblebee's hauls, and I'm glad I seen it. Anyways, there are some questions in here, and this is basically about people with addiction to books, which would be us. I'm going to go ahead and ask the questions. There are 25 questions, and I will go ahead and answer them too on camera. And you guys can, if you want to do a video response, you can. You don't have to. But I'm going to get started because there's 25 questions. Okay, this is talking about how big of a problem do you have. When you go to a bookstore with a friend, are you usually carrying more books when you leave than your friend is? Yes. Do you wake up the morning after, unable to remember how many books you bought or how much you spent on them? Yes. Do you, inexplicably, yank down a volume from the store shelves, open it, and shove your nose deeply into the binding, hungrily inhaling the ink and paper smells? Sometimes. Have you ever bought the same book twice without knowing it? Yes. When you go to a bookstore after work, thus arriving home late at night, do you lie about where you have been, telling your spouse you were at a bar? I think that's kind of funny. No, I do not. At Christmas time, do you buy your loved ones books that you want to read? No, but I do buy them books. Have you ever given up on a book before you started it? No. Are you unable to walk through a mall without stopping at a bookstore? Definitely, yes. Do you have a personal library on an entire subject, none of which you have read? I wouldn't say an entire library, but I do have quite a few books on one subject. Do you ever buy books simply because they were on sale? Yes. Have you ever bought a book because you liked the cover design? Definitely. When at a garage sale, is the first thing you look at the books? Of course. Have you ever been fired from a job or reprimanded for reading? No. Have you and your immediate family ever discussed your book buying and reading habits? Yes. When you watch TV, do you always have a book in your lap for slow parts and commercials? Yes. Do you watch television sports with the sound off? I do not watch television sports. Does panic set in when you find yourself in a barber's chair or at the salon with nothing to read? No. Have you ever suddenly become deeply interested in an obscure topic and immediately bought 6 or more books on that topic? Yes. Do you ever lie about how many books you've bought? Yes. Do you devise grand and devious strategies for getting your books into the house to avoid your spouse's or family's scrutiny? Maybe. Has your book buying ever embarrassed your family or friends? Not that I'm aware of. When a stranger walks into your house or apartment, are his or her first words usually a comment about your books? No, because they're all in my bedroom. If someone asks you for a reading list of the 20 most influential books you've ever read, do you happen to have such a list on you? No. Do you have at least 6 books next to your bed? Well, since all these bookcases are in my room and basically next to my bed, I'd have to say yes. But if they're talking about my nightstand, then no. When a bookstore clerk has been unable to locate a certain book in the stacks, have you ever been able to find that book? Yes. And then it goes on, because that went by pretty quickly. Now there are also some multiple choice questions. There are 8 multiple choice questions, so I'm going to go ahead and read that. Now this is saying that, well, you're first supposed to count up the number of yes answers. If you answered yes to more than 4 questions, you are looking down into the deep and woeful pit of biblioholism. If you answered yes to more than 8, you are hanging by your fingernails on the edge, your legs kicking in the emptiness, and your eyes imploringly turned heavenward for rescue. And if you answered yes to more than 12 questions, You are in space right now, a full-throated scream careening off the canyon walls, and it's only a matter of time until you splat onto the canyon floor with a puff of dust and a hearty yelp a la Wile E. Coyote of cartoon fame. But then, you already knew you were kind of weird. In the next test, we find out just how weird, just exactly how far out into the nothingness of the chasm of biblioholism have you fallen. How bad have you got the book disease? So, let's do these. You are playing host to an elegant dinner party for 8. 4 couples, including you and your spouse. The food is delightful, the wine perfect, the setting congenial, the conversation scintillating. However, there is a lull. Talk stops, eating slows. One of the party, to relieve her ennui, I might have pronounced that wrong, pulls from beneath her chair a book and dives deeply into it, oblivious of the proprieties of the occasion. Needless to say, this person's solipsism captures the attention of all. As host, you feel you must do something. What do you do? A. Express your outrage at this unconscionable breach of social etiquette. B. Begin discoursing brilliantly on a topic of interest to all. Or C. Go to your shelves, pull down a dozen or 2 volumes, and hand one to each of the non-reading diners, while placing the rest of the books in the center of the table. I would have to say B. Begin discoursing brilliantly on a topic of interest to all. 2. It is nigh unto sleeping time for you and your spouse. You are in bed and the reading light is on above your heads. Your spouse closes up his or her book, clicks off the light, and amorously snuggles to your side, promising to bestow upon you ardent connubial favors upon the disposal of your own volume. What do you do? A. Quickly lay your book aside and accede to the rigors of your spouse's amatory program. B. Agree to your spouse's demands this time, but insist on getting separate reading lights for the future. Or C. Drive him or her away with an NBA-style rebounding elbow. Flip the light back on and return to your tome. If I was really into my book, it would definitely be C. I would go back to my reading. Depending on the book, if I could set it aside, I would. But if it was where you're really into it, no, I wouldn't. 3. Your book buying has been halted by the barrier that eventually stops all book buying: lack of storage space. How do you react to this problem? A. You sell some of the books or give them away. B. You jettison existing space takers like furniture and large appliances. Or C. You acquire additional space. That is, you buy or rent houses, build a nexus, or rent storage space. Me, B. I would get rid of furniture and stuff. 4. What do you do when your friends wish to see your personal library? A. You tell them to go for it and leave them to their own devices. B. You get squeamish when you witness them handling your books, bending them, and possibly creasing the bindings, and even setting their drinking utensils on them, but you allow them to continue unremonstrated. C. You allow no one to enter your library unless clothed in airtight suits similar to those worn on Gemini space missions, lest they track in any damaged foreign organisms, and then you alone handle the volumes. Probably C. I was thinking B at first about cringing and everything, but I would have to say something. I couldn't just let them do it anyways. So probably C. 5. When you give a book to a friend as a gift, what do you expect that person to do upon receipt of the volume? A. Thank you, put the book aside, and move on to other matters. B. Fall to his or her knees in profuse thanks and begin seriously reading the tome immediately, callously disregarding everything and everyone else present. Or C. Listen rapturously while you explain in detail the fine points of the particular volume, which may include the reading of excerpts, and how they specifically relate to the recipient, before digging into the reading of the tome right there. C. Because I like to explain things, so I can't just give somebody something and let it be. I have to explain why I picked it and why it excites me or why I thought it was cool or what have you. So, 6. You have just run out of gas or had car trouble on a deserted stretch of highway. Following your initial feelings of anger and disappointment, you realize that you may be there for some time. However, you also realize that you failed to bring any books with you. What do you do? A. Sit and stew and wait for help. B. Read the manuals and insurance policies in your glove box. Or C. This would never happen to you, as you always have books with you. I never bring a book with me unless I specifically feel that I'm going to read it wherever I'm at. So me, it would be B, read the manuals and insurance policies in your glove box, because I always have to read something. 7. You are driving your car with a number of newly purchased homes in the passenger seat, which means books, all of which are unmarred and absolutely refulgent in quality. In the back seat sits your spouse. You are A, training to be a chauffeur, B, a sexist of the first order, or C, a biblioholic merely exercising your priorities. Well, of course, it would have to be C. And then the last question. Your house has a dilapidated, fragile appearance because the rafters, beams, floors, and underlying joists sag dangerously. The slightest whiffle of a breeze could reduce it to a pyramid of firewood. You are aware of the problem. You blame A, the 50,000 volumes you have lining every possible wall and occupying every possible inch of floor space. B, the quality of wood used in the construction. Or C, the obviously shoddy workmanship with which the house was erected. I would have to say C. The house was erected very crappy. And then it tells you, for every A you selected, give yourself 5 points. For every B you selected, 10 points. And for every C, 15 points. And then it goes on and tells you. So if anybody's following, they want to know. 40 to 59, accept our sincere apologies. You are no biblioholic. Shop till you drop. 60 to 99, if you don't have a problem now, it's only a matter of time until you hear the voices and see the hideous little insects crawling up and down your arm. 100 to 120, you're gone. Further reading in this book may help you, but then again it may not. Solicit intervention immediately. So I just thought that was cute. This is how this book is. I love it. But I'm only on page 52. I hope to really get through this. I want to plow through this. It's got 200 pages though, so it might take me till tomorrow. Although tomorrow I'm going to that scrapbooking store. My husband's letting me use money to get some. I just need the basics. Adhesive. I need scissors. And I'm going to see if they have vellum spray. And there was something else I was looking for. So I saw tons of paper, embellishments, and of course pictures. So, alright guys. Oh, there is one more that I wanted to do, and I can't remember what it was, so I'm going to be back with another video probably anyways. Talk to you later. Bye.